Oh boy, how long it has been since we have done a dead meat. And not only a dead meat, but it's been a while since we've done a dead meat for the Nightmare on Elm Street series. As a matter of fact, I think the first dead meat we ever did was to A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Was it though?
Yeah, I think so. I think that was the first dead meat we ever did.
For some reason, I thought we did this, but I guess we didn't.
And that was back before dead meat. That was back when dead meat only had they had under 1 million subscribers. I think that was back when they had like 600,000. And now look at them, over 2.6 million. James, keep doing what you're doing, man. You're still killing it. No pun intended.
No doubt. Killing it.
Yeah, dead meat. Hey,
knocking them dead.
Yeah, he's sending them to the choir invisible. He has left their perch and sent them on to meet their maker. Yeah. So, yeah. A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, considered by many to be an inferior entry in the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Some consider it to be the worst one.
It's my buddy's favorite.
Really?
Yeah, and I still don't really know why. Like, I've talked to him about it a little bit. I have to ask him again, like, what his reasonings are, but he likes this one the best. I like this one okay, but I do not like it nearly as much as 1 or 3.
1, 3, and 4 are considered
my two
the
favorites,
best.
1 being my favorite.
Of course, well, 1 is everyone's favorite.
I would say for this, it's about on the same level as 4 for me, because 4 is the point where it starts to get a little too campy for it to be possible to
I thought 5 was when it completely crossed over into camp territory.
I don't know, because it's already starting to drift into it with 3. And 3's still enjoyable, and it's got some really creepy ass kills, but it's still kind of getting a little over the top at that point.
Yeah,
especially with the big worm that's trying to eat her and stuff. Worm Freddy.
Yeah. Freddy's dead.
4 was the point where I'm just like, it's a little absurd at this point. I still like it, but in terms of like just really good horror, I still love the first and the third the best.
Okay,
but the second being
well, my rankings of them are 1, 3, New Nightmare, 4, 2, 5, Freddy's Dead.
So I still never watched The New Nightmare all the way through. I think I've seen like a part of it, but
it's actually a lot what Wes Craven wanted it to be. It's a lot more serious.
The original 6, mine would be 1, 3, 4, 2, 6, 5. I think.
Yeah,
5
was
probably like my least favorite.
5 has probably one of my favorite Freddy moments, wherever he becomes Super Freddy. But still, that was just like,
It's funny, but it's stupid.
Yeah, it is funny. and also the kill was pretty cool, too, where the kid, like, turned into comic book paper, and all the color drained from him, and then Freddy just turned him into confetti.
It did look neat for the time.
Like, it was.
Wise.
It was very cool.
But, like, nowadays it looks really goofy.
Yeah, it does. Very, very goofy. Anyway, we have the video from Dead Meat queued up here. Let's get it on screen, and let's go.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and the shirt will make sense later. Today we're looking at Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. As soon as the original Nightmare made New Line executive Bob Shaye a buttload of money, he knew he wanted a sequel, so he ditched Wes Craven and bought a script from writer David Chaskin that had nothing to do with Nancy Thompson, and instead focused on a young boy named Jesse Walsh who moves into Nancy's house 5 years after her apparent defeat of Freddy Krueger. Freddy's Revenge has a rightfully earned reputation as one of the gayest horror movies ever made. The story goes that Chaskin wrote the screenplay with some homoerotic subtext that quickly became supertext during production, while the director and producers claimed they had no idea at the time. The whole thing was a major headache for actor Mark Patton, who was gay but not completely out at the time, as he played Jesse, a role he has since embraced as making him the first male Scream Queen. I friggin' love that a movie this gay managed to sneak its way into theaters in the middle of the Reagan era. But you know what else I love about it? The kills. So let's get to them. The movie begins with a Bluebird bus rolling down a suburban street. Better watch out, driver, you're headed straight for a title car. Eventually, there's only 3 kids left on the bus. These 2 Valley girls and the hero of our story, Jesse Walsh, who's not exactly a popular guy, it looks like. The girls take a break from laughing at Jesse when the bus blows by their stop.
Hey, driver, that was my stop. Driver, that was my stop.
And keeps going straight into the freaking desert. Where did that come from? The bus zooms past some Joshua trees as a close-up shows us what we've already guessed by now. That bus driver is none other than Frederick Krueger. The bus skids to a stop and the kids watch out the windows as the ground opens up around them, eventually leaving the bus balancing precariously on a couple of tall rock spires in a shot that looks straight out of Clash of the Titans. Freddy gets up to stalk towards the kids, laughing as Freddy laugh and fucking up the upholstery with his fingernails.
Hey,
when he goes in for the fatal slash, we cut to a tomato being sliced. That's fun. And the Walsh family hearing a scream from upstairs. God, I love Jesse's scream. He wakes up in a sweat, and in our first little dollop of, hey, this movie might not focus on the same kind of sexuality as those, Jesse stands up in his tighty whities, and the camera lingers long enough for him to adjust himself. He comes downstairs and gets disciplined by his dad for not having his room unpacked yet when their doorbell rings. It's their rich neighbor Lisa, and she's ready to go to school with Jesse. And how rich is she? Get a load of this pool in her backyard. Holy shit,
damn,
Lisa,
girl, you rich.
For work? With that kind of wealth, I don't know why she's carpooling with Jesse in a shithouse car that starts with some button mashing and leaves behind the smoke monster from Lost as it drives off. As cool, Jesse and the boys are playing baseball, and my favorite character, Ron Grady, is up to bat. His hit winds up bonking Jesse on the head, and after that bonk and Jesse tagging Grady out, they get into a tiff that gives us our first man-ass of the movie. But not our last. They wrestle around in the best of friends until, oh shit, Adidas coming! Coach Schneider pulls the 2 apart with the first of many suggestive lines in this movie.
Assume the position.
And assume it they do. Hey, boys, get those butts out. As they lie there fucking up their lower backs, the 2 talk about how Schneider hangs out at S&M joints downtown, apparently, and end up becoming friends after some back and forth ribbing.
Look, Grady, you got some problem with me. No, bro. Just killing time.
In the locker room, Grady tells Jesse the history behind the house he's just moved into, about how a girl saw her boyfriend get murdered across the street and went crazy while locked inside by her mom. Sure enough, the house still has the Mama Marge bars on the window, and after Jesse can't sleep, he goes downstairs and winds up outside where he sees through the basement window Freddy messing around with his furnace. Hope you're gonna help with those heating bills, Mr. Krueger. Back inside, Jesse runs right into Freddy, darker and more serious than ever. In fact, this movie's probably got the least comical Freddy of the series, who growls to Jesse that he needs him.
You've got the body, I've got the brain.
Keep that scream coming, dude. Jesse wakes up with no harm done, except for
I think
some
if I saw
sweat
some
stains
dude
on his
pull
sheets.
his
The next day, Jesse
fucking
tries to
head
go meet up
open
with
like that,
Lisa, but
probably
Daddy
scream
Walsh
the
says
same
he has
way.
to unpack and
I
clean
probably
his room
would too.
instead. Thanks, Dad, because you just gave us another bewildering sequence that begins with a cassette of Fonda Ray and another stealthy Adidas advertisement.
making me
With the
laugh
help of
too
some
much for roommates.
sunglasses, Jesse gets dance cleaning to a song called Touch Me all night long, and while mouthing those suggestive lyrics, we get some butt close-ups and some phallic mini-bat wiggling. It's a damn shame when his thrusting is cut off by his mom and Lisa entering his room. Hey, don't be ashamed, dude. Nothing wrong with pretending you got a mini-bat dick. After Lisa helps him finish cleaning, she finds something in the closet. No, not Jesse himself, nor that game hilariously named Probe, but a diary from 5 years ago that belonged to Nancy Thompson. When one of her entries mentions a dude named Fred who's got steel claws and hangs out in a boiler room, Jesse goes catatonic, and before you know it, he's got the night sweats again. And the shit in his room is all melty? Well, that's what happens when you buy Crayola brand baseball helmets and records made of asphalt. He goes downstairs to the old furnace where he pulls out an early Christmas gift from Freddy. Open that shit up, Jesse. It's some authentic finger knives. Hope you got them from RazorGloves.com because those gloves are dope. Freddy shows up and encourages him to have fun.
Try it on for size.
Jesse's able to resist Freddy, but not gravity. But even after Freddy disappears, that kill glove is still hanging out there. At school, Jesse gives Nancy's diary to Lisa, and her friend Carrie mentions Lisa's upcoming party, so I guess we know where Act 3 is gonna take place. Yo, but fuck seeing another day. Let's jump back to Jesse's home that night, where Mama Walsh puts the family birds to bed, only for the birdcage to start shaking all crazy. Jesse unveils the animals to find one of them dead and the other stone cold crazy, you know. It flies around doing some great bird acting, friggin' drifting and shit, before it suddenly spontaneously combusts. What? Bird bomb? At least that's what Mr. Walsh thinks, blaming Jesse for the whole thing, as though blowing up birds is just a common schoolboy prank. Hey, how about another scene with Jesse waking up sweaty? Here you go.
remember
Once
doing
again,
that
he
when I was
wanders
in school.
downstairs, but this
Whoa,
time
hold
some
up.
random kitchen lightning convinces him to take a walk outside in the rain. His wet night stroll leads him to Don's place, a kinky leather bar where there are no less than 2 David Bowies hanging out. Sign me up. Working the bar is producer Bob Shea in a leather-tastic cameo, and and he
Oh,
gives Jesse
God.
a beer without even carding this baby face. But as Jesse goes to
yeah.
drink it, he runs into some trouble. It's Coach Schneider. Oh shit, Adidas coming. Schneider takes Jesse to the school and makes him do laps. A weird after-hours punishment made even weirder by the fact that he doesn't even change out of his daddy outfit to dole it out. Come on, dude, your sweet freaking Adidas shirt is hanging right there. Stuff in his office starts getting all spooky, and he gets a bunch of balls thrown at him, which, to be
Balls
fair,
to the
is probably
face.
how he expected this night to end anyway. Hey, a jump rope puts him in bondage and starts dragging him out of the office. Hit the shower, Schneider. He slides right in there next to Jesse and is then magically stripped for another man-ass occurrence. Maybe this episode should be the man-ass count, where we tally up the man-asses in all our favorite Freddy sequels. Schneider gets
There you
flogged by
go.
towels as Jesse watches, and right as you're starting to feel bad for the guy, Freddy joins the party to make things even weirder. He raises his glove and slashes him across the back. Cue showers spraying out blood, cue one more shot of man-ass, and cue Jesse with the Freddy glove on his hand? Why don't you tell us how this sudden turn of events makes you feel, Jesse? Normally after a scene like this, the protagonist wakes up in bed, but instead Jesse's parents answer the door to find him in the middle of a
Scream,
freaking
dude.
sandwich. The cops say they found him outside wandering around naked, and his parents are pretty concerned, thinking he's taken some serious drugs. But the only thing Jesse's on is Special K, and that K is for Kruger. The next day, there's a bunch of cops at school, and Grady tells Jesse that Coach Schneider was found dead in the showers. But instead of seeing Jesse go through another day, why don't we cut straight to the chase and get more shots of him sweating in bed? Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh,
Yeah.
and could you just tilt straight down to his junk? Perfect. And every straight guy is complaining about how this is super gay, which it totally is.
It is.
Think about how every other movie shoots the female characters like this. You can live with one movie catering to the ladies and gay dudes. It's okay. It ain't gonna hurt you. Jesse opens his desk drawer to find a very active
don't
finger
really
knife
care.
cord inside, and then he hears Freddy's voice inside his head. He goes into his sister's room where he finds her practicing to audition for the Jump Rope Girls. I think she'll make the cut. And now it's morning. God damn, this movie just plows through days and nights. Jesse and Lisa drive to an old power plant where Lisa says Fred Krueger used to work. Hey, what do you mean by work, Lisa?
Fred Krueger kidnapped 20 kids and brought them here and killed them.
I think that was more of like a hobby for him. It's not like it paid the bills or anything. Lisa asks
Yeah, I
Jesse
don't
if he
think he got
feels
a paycheck for
anything,
that
but
one.
even though he doesn't, she does. That bod of his, that is. Then we're back in the Walsh basement where the furnace kicks off a first-person POV shot that goes upstairs and into Jesse's sister's room.
Wake up, little girl.
She does, but she seems pretty chill. Probably because it's just her sweaty bro Jesse. And if she's anything like this movie's audience, she's already seen that shit 1,000 times. Oh,
Yep.
but he is wearing that finger knife glove. Better hide that from sis, dude. He goes to his room and uses Sta-Up pills and coke to get through the night. The Santa Claus coke, not the nose candy kind. Let's get to the party that was promised, where Lisa's dad is playing old-timey jazz and serving up burgers to his daughter's teenage friends. Mom does Lisa a solid and carts her dad off to bed. And as soon as those crazy kids see the lights go off in the parents' bedroom, they crank up the tunes and break out the beer. Apparently forgetting that sound waves tend to travel. Lucky for them, Lisa's mom don't give a fuck. Meanwhile, Jesse sulks himself into the cabana and Lisa follows to talk to him. Check out this fun little bit of filmmaking, with some ferns casting a finger knife looking shadow against the wall in front of Jesse's
Yep,
silhouette.
I
Well
see
done,
that.
director Jack Shoulder. The kids end up making out, but right as Jesse begins to board the USS motorboat, things get weird. Yeah, maybe save that party trick for a little later, Jesse. No need to pull out all the stops right away. His Gene Simmons simulation leaves him feeling freaked out, so he runs off, leaving Lisa alone on the cabana floor so he can break into Grady's room and get up close and personal. He tells Grady, who's got some dope-ass posters in his room, including
Yeah.
a Frank Zappa one and a Bowie one, even though Tonight was definitely a bottom 3 album. Bottom 2 if you don't count Tin Machine. That he killed Schneider and nearly killed his sister.
Something is trying to get inside my body. Yeah, and she's female and she's waiting for you in the cabana. And you want to sleep with me.
But their lover's quarrel dies down, and Jesse puts Grady on Glenn detail, telling him to wake him up if it looks like things are going wrong. But let's be real, man. It's 1985, there ain't no Reddit to browse or Netflix to watch, and at this time of night, ain't shit on TV. So what's a young Grady supposed to do to stay awake? Yeah, he doesn't know either, so he pulls a Glenn and goes to sleep. Jesse wakes up, which wakes up Grady, and although it looks like Jesse just has some indigestion, it's actually way worse than anything Pepto-Bismol can solve. He's got nails growing out of his fingers, and his whole friggin' arm is erupting into nastiness. Ew. Grady pounds on the door to get out, but I spy with my back of throat eye something that tells me Grady gon' die. It's Freddy's freaking face coming out of Jesse's torso like it's a bedroom wall without a crucifix. Yo, Jesse, how about giving the guy some air? Thank you, that's more like it. Freddy climbs out of his Jesse shell and stretches, because living inside a teenage boy that long will give you such a crick in the neck. Freddy, true to part 2's darker focus on terror, cracks no jokes as he grabs Grady by the throat and raises him against the door. Next thing you know, finger knives are busting out the other side and Grady's spitting up blood. The stabbing takes place just below screen, but it's still cool way to shoot this kill, and we get the goal we're looking for when Grady's body slinks to the floor. Freddy waves at himself in the mirror, but wait a minute, he's not himself, he's Jesse. I bet seeing your friend dead like that makes you want to scream, huh, Jess? No? Just cry? Well, that's a bummer. Jesse tosses his murder weapon at the mirror, and after hearing some sirens come around, pieces out through the window. He goes back to Lisa's place, and she is way too nonplussed by the twitchy dude covered in blood straight up admitting to murder.
I killed Grady. Lisa, I killed Snyder.
Jesse, what are you talking about?
Dog, he literally just said he killed 2 people. That's what he's talking about. Get the fuck out of there and call the police.
Yeah,
Out
run,
back at the
girl,
pool
run.
party, things are heating up.
So what's going on here? An orgy or something?
Haha, no, Rod. I'm talking about the temperature of the pool. And these wieners. Then the beer starts blowing up, probably from being carted around in a friggin' radio flyer, and all sorts of shit gets crazy. It's mostly things blowing up, but the kids also get locked in the pool area, which will be bad news Kroogs later. Lisa tells Jesse that according to the good book of Nancy, all he has to do to fight Freddy is not give him any more energy. But then the poltergeist shit starts happening in their room, and all of a sudden, Jesse's no longer there.
He can't fight me, I'm here.
A chase ensues where we get classic Robert Englund physicality. He even bites into her ankle like it's corn on the cob. Lisa gets away and grabs a knife to defend herself with against Freddy, who's having a real temper tantrum and declaring that he has a new identity.
I'm Jesse now.
Also, Freddy's look varies slightly from movie to movie, and I kinda like how meaty and wet he looks in this one. He tells Lisa that killing him will kill Jesse too, and maybe that's why her stabs are so half-assed. He grabs her with his sausage fingers, and both his personalities get tender for a moment.
I love you, Lisa.
I love you, Lisa.
But then he tosses her across the room and heads outside to kill some teens. Freddy's body count throughout the series is notoriously low, but if you ever want to watch him go on a killing spree, buckle up, because this is the one time he does it. He crashes through the door and disappears, only to re-emerge poolside, and goddamn, is it weird to watch Freddy among a whole group of people in the real world when he usually does his killing on an individual basis in the dream world. But let's not look a kill horse in the mouth, let's just count these boys up. First is a dude he corners against the fence and slashes in the face. Bam! Dude goes down. Another guy gets shocked by the fence, although he's okay. But when these 2 people fall into the boiling pool and then the pool catches on fire, yeah, I'm gonna count those 2. Fire's popping up everywhere, and although these people get away in time, I'm gonna say this chick, and yes, that's a lady, look at that boob right there, isn't so lucky since she falls into a spot that immediately goes up in flames. Another guy gets trampled and his neck audibly broken, so that makes 5 kills here, and then Stripey McStriperson runs gut first into some finger knives to bring Fred's kill streak up to 6. What is that, an airstrike? Freddy takes a breather, and you know what, maybe he's done for the night. At least this dude seems to think so, since he approaches Freddy like he's Jonathan Groff talking down a hostage situation.
Just tell us what you want, all right? I'm here to help you.
It doesn't go so well.
Help yourself, fucker.
He gets slashed and tossed against the grill, which doesn't look all that lethal, but I'll count it anyway, because this is the only chance Fred will have to bring home these kinds of numbers. The kids look on in horror as Freddy tells them about his mass adoption plans.
You are all my children now.
Then Lisa's dad shows up with a gun, but she stops him from shooting Fred because of the whole Jesse possession thing. Freddy takes the hint that he's not wanted at this party and leaves through the fiery hedge door that every rich backyard has. Lisa takes off to follow him, correctly surmising that he's gone back to the old power plant he used to work at. Too bad the place is being guarded by some creepy fucking dogs wearing Happy Death Day masks. What the fuck? But Lisa just walks right past them, so whatever, I guess. She walks around the plant in this awesome super far away shot, and eventually Freddy gets in her face and corners her. She pleads for Jesse to come out of Freddy's body, saying that she loves him and shit, and it looks like that plan is working since Freddy starts oozing blood. He winds up in a corner of the boiler room, collapsing in weakness as Lisa continues to kill him with kindness, saying she's not afraid of him and that she loves Jesse and he can come out whenever he wants, blah blah blah, get to the gross kiss. Yeah, make out with that child murderer. Slip in the tongue, Lisa, that'll get Jesse out even quicker. Fred tosses her away and then fire surrounds him. It starts burning everywhere, in fact, and Freddy begins to melt as Lisa watches on. That's some good melty Freddy face. He erupts completely into flames and his body falls to the grated floor. After the fire goes out, the charred body left behind begins to move, and it turns out that it's Jesse. Oh good, Lisa, you got him back, just in time for him to be tried for at least half a dozen murders in the first. Yeah, hug him real tight there. He'll need this memory when he's in prison for the rest of his life. We're back where we started, with a school bus driving down a suburban street. Jesse's sitting with Lisa and Carrie, who seems to be totally cool with having just seen a bunch of her classmates get murdered the night before.
That was a really great party.
But then the bus starts speeding down the street and Jesse freaks the fuck out, telling the driver to stop, which he does. Jeez, Jesse, you want to tell this guy how to do his goddamn job some more? Sit your ass down, or he will put your ass down. Lisa and Carrie assure Jesse that everything's cool now.
It's all over.
Boom! One more kill to count up, even though I'm not sure if this is a dream or if it counts or whatever, but I'm giving it to him because Freddy needs the number cooking. The movie ends with the bus going on another off-roading adventure as Freddy laughs and laughs and laughs. But while they're busy with their camping trip, we've got to get to the numbers.
Good one.
Hell yeah.
Good
10
one,
people
James.
die in Freddy's Revenge, the only solo Freddy film to reach double-digit kills. The victims included 7 dudes and 3 ladies, more than 2-to-1 guys, and with a runtime of 86 minutes, that leaves us with a kill on average every 8.6 minutes. I'll give the golden chainsaw for coolest kill collectively to those first 6 partiers that get killed. I know it's weird to see Freddy at a pool party, but it's also kind of fun to see him use all his tricks to take down a bunch of kids at once. Dull machete for lamest kill will go to the 7th guy, the negotiator dude, since he just got whipped into a grill. And that's it. A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, came out in 1985, a year after the original, and although I'm a fan, some people prefer to skip it and go straight into the 3rd film, Dream Warriors, which we'll be covering next week. Until then, I'm James A. Janice. This has been the Kill Count. Thanks a lot for watching my Kill Count for Nightmare on Elm Street 2. So this Freddy glove comes from RazorGloves.com. You might have heard me plug them in the video. Christopher Grantner sent these to me, and they are absolutely amazing. These are just a plastic piece of shit. This is the real deal, man. Compare and contrast. I just want these in the background for this one so I can surprise you with these ones. From now on, these are gonna live up here. None of this shit.
I wonder if that's the same company that made the gloves we carried at FYE, because we had some really legit looking ones at FYE.
Maybe.
I actually took it out of the box one day. I was like, I got to check it out.
Yeah, you had to give it a look.
Like, I was looking at it, I was like, oh man. And I was like, this is like fucking legit as far as I can tell. It was like the closest thing to the movie I'd seen made. And like, you know, the knives were actually metal, they just weren't sharp.
Yeah, they were dull, which that's kind of what you want. You don't want like sharp straight out the gate.
Yeah, like it was pretty cool.
Yeah. So all in all, man, I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, a little groundbreaking in some ways. You know, first, not gay, but there's a lot of gay in this movie, and you know what? That's fine. That's fine. I mean, hell, we had the Blue Oyster Bar in a police academy, so why not? This? Although I will say, the coach finding him at the bar and then taking him to the gymnasium and telling him to hit the showers.
That was weird.
That's a bit much, because I'm just like, bruh, you okay? It's like, are you sure you want to go down this route? Because that's a bit much. You think? I mean, just. Like, my coach, the worst thing my coach ever did was call me a fuck stick. Oh, no. He called me a fuck stick and a retard. So, yeah.
I didn't really ever have coaches be huge dicks to me, except for, like, just the ones that would always put their sons in spots before people on the team that were actually better at stuff than them.
Well, the good thing about both of the coaches I dealt with in football, the first one, his sons had already graduated and were in college or working or in the private sector, and then the other one turns out his kids were still in primary school, but there was still favoritism because hey, parents got to suck someone's dick, and why not be the football coach and start a freshman over a 3-year experienced junior, and thus kills his love for football. I kicked that kid's ass every day in practice. Every day. But yet he started. You know why? Because his parents were good friends with the coach.
Yeah. That's bullshit.
Like, I could understand my first 2 years not starting, because the first year, my spot was occupied by BG, Brandon Graham, who, imagine if you will, a 3-time All-State defensive end, who... It took 2-on-1 every time to stop him. They had to double team him every time just to stop him. And, he graduated my freshman year, and then my sophomore year was Ruben, who was pretty much BG's second-hand man, who had been BG's backup for 3 years, and Ruben was also really good. And plus, it was his senior year, so I guess coach had to make it good somehow. I don't know, but
so we had a coach that was just a gym class coach in middle school. That was probably the worst coach that I guess I ever had, because she was this fat lady, but she made the kids exercise like a drill sergeant, and it was just kind of degrading having a fat lady telling you that you're not running fast enough and like not doing
how about you run,
and sit-ups and stuff like that.
It's like, tell you what, I'll give you $20. I'll give you $20 right now if you can keep pace with me. Can you do that? That's what I'd tell her.
Pretty much. It's like she got in a lot of kids' faces for talking back to her and stuff.
If you can get in my face, I'll just breathe. I'll just do like like a deep horse breath in her face and like knock her back with my smelly breath. She'll be like, how dare you talk to me like that? I'll just be like, like dragon's breath. And then she'll just be like, oh my God, what is that? I was like, lunch. That's what I'd be like. Oh well. So, I know people want us to do more kill counts, in which, if you all like this, if you all want us to do more kill counts, I mean, I'm all for it. Especially...
Obviously would like to do the Dream Warriors kill count.
Well, yeah, because that's your second favorite Nightmare movie.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I'd be up for doing it. And, also, there's certain ones on here I don't want us to watch yet because I want us to watch them... I want us to watch them separately. I want us to watch them before we watch the kill counts.
Okay.
For instance, Unfriended. Have you seen it? Mm-hmm. I thought that movie was going to be friggin' stupid. It was awesome all the way through. It's hands down one of like the best paranormal movies out there. It's actually really, really good. I think you'd like it a lot.
Fair enough.
So,
like I said, I'm always skeptical about the modern technology horror.
Yeah, I was too. Like I said, like there's very few that I like. Like The Gallows. The Gallows was a terrible film. Did you ever see it?
Is that the one where they're in the school? Like,
yeah.
After
that kid.
After dark, and like the kid hung himself by accident during the play.
Yes.
Yeah, like it was building up like it was going to be kind of good, and then just like halfway through it, just kind of lost all its steam and got real dumb for the rest of the movie.
Yeah. Just same basic jump scare cliches and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, what are you gonna do? Life's not perfect. And, well, I guess that's going to do it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to watch the original video, link is down in the description down below. It will take you to the original video on Dead Meat's channel. Check out Dead Meat. I mean, I can't say that enough. James A. Janice puts out a new video every single week. And they're always really good. Yeah. So I definitely suggest y'all
always
check those
funny,
out.
Always informative. And he even makes, like, checking out movies that aren't good fun.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I agree 100%. So, we can definitely recommend this. And, yeah, I guess until next time, signing off, I'm Nate.
I'm Nick.
We will see you all in the next one. Peace out.